Ouch. Okay, I can't move that fast yet. Today is post-op day 4, and I just had these little tiny fun needles that I was prescribed to take. I have to take one of these for the next 7 days. This is called enoxaparin or Lovenox. It's a sub-Q. It's a very small needle, as you can tell. It makes a cute little sound. And the whole point of this is you take this 7 days after surgery because it helps you, it's a blood thinner, so it helps your blood from actually coagulating, creating blood clots, especially when I've been like sitting in bed 12, 13, 14 hours just sleeping all day. This is what this is for. So first off, I'm going to answer a few questions from the 1,000,001 questions that's been sitting on the comment section. And then we're actually going to be getting a visit from another influencer. I'm so excited to meet her. So I found her when all she had was 264 followers on Instagram, and now she has 150,000 on Instagram and 247,000 on TikTok. I started coaching her. She's been losing a bunch of weight, and I'm just really pumped to meet her because she's fucking hilarious. So first off, let's do some questions. We're just gonna answer through these as quick as possible, and if you need more information after, let me know in the comments. We'll get through them later. Don't worry, I'm posting every day now. We got plenty of time for this. First question, how do you minimize scarring after surgery? 90% of that is going to happen actually in the surgery itself, and it depends on these, on the technique that the surgeon will use to close the incision. Make sure you have a good surgeon. If you don't, it will be very obvious. Yes, of course, afterwards there's stuff like silicone tape and things that you can do, or minimizing the exposure to the sun, but none of it will be as useful as what the surgeon does in the OR. Make sure you have a good surgeon. Check his results. Check his results from people 2 years ago, because that's when you'll really be able to see what it looks like. Next up, how did you deal with the fupa? Did it gradually decrease with weight loss? You can't spot fat burn. It will happen systematically. And so over time, the general growing area will lessen in fat deposit. And this is why there's all those funny memes about how your grows when you lose weight. It's not that it actually grows, it's just that there's less fat around there, you can see it more. And when is your fertility stuff coming? Very soon, actually. That's gonna be the next, I wanna say, season of content after all this, because it's a bit of a conversation I'm gonna have with my family before I just splurge it out on YouTube, but we'll just say that Taylor and I are ready. And with just a 9 to 5, no other income, would the price be worth it? They're expensive. That really much depends on you. How much does it impact your confidence? Is it something that you think about 24/7? If it's something that constantly bothers you, and that's something that would increase the way that you look at yourself in the mirror, maybe save up for it over time, or look for certain doctors that might have payment plans. That might be an option. It doesn't obviously all have to be paid at once, but it generally has to be paid all in front of the surgery itself. Do you have any knowledge with gear? Yes, actually. And it's funny enough, the fact that I have to take these, the Lovenox, is really useful for me right now, because when you take super supplements, your hematocrit levels go up, and so does the thickness of your blood. So doing this prior to a surgery actually puts me at a higher risk of a deep vein thrombosis. Using this reduces that risk considerably after surgery. Is your belly button deformed? If so, for how long till it's back to normal? Not trying to be rude. This isn't rude at all. Thank you for asking. Again, this really depends on the approach that your surgeon takes. Dr. Law mentioned to me how some of the tummy tucks that he had seen from other surgeons looked as if it was a perfect circle around your belly button, and that looks very unnatural. Mine looks crazy perfect. Here's a clip of it that I took yesterday. Again, it really depends on the experience of your surgeon and the type of technique that he does to put it back into place. So again, look at the results beforehand, but mine looks great right now. Is it common or even allowed to have a second gynecomastia surgery? Actually, unfortunately, it's more common than you think. When a doctor does not fully remove the gland under the nipple, when more exogenous anabolics, for example, can be introduced, or when another hormone fluctuation can happen, that gland can actually grow back, causing the same look of gyno that you had before. Or let's say that you were to gain an incredible amount of weight again, and then the loose skin could sag, creating that same male breast image. So yes, it can happen. And of course, some surgeons don't do the best of jobs requiring a revision afterwards. Dr. Law had a patient that actually needed a 7th revision, not because of him, because every surgeon before him completely botched the job. Dr. Law came in, did his 7th and last revision, and homie looked perfect coming out of it. And how manageable is your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? what would you rate it? My baseline is a 1. I'm fine. I can feel it. I feel pressure. But in terms of pain itself, I don't know if you can hear, I'm tapping on my stomach right now. I don't really feel anything. So perfectly manageable and a lot better than what I thought it was gonna be, not gonna lie. After talking to everybody else, everybody was telling me, oh, you're gonna need a walker or a cane, or you'll need a recliner. And I bought a recliner ahead of time for my recovery, and I don't think I'm gonna need to use it at all, actually, when I get home. So this is all depending on the doctor, how aggressive he is in the OR, of course, but the pain management schedule that they'll use preemptively and post-surgery. I've taken a few of my opiates just to help myself sleep at night, but it wasn't because of pain, it was just because of the crazy pressure that I have on my stomach right now. At what point should you consider surgery? After goal weight reached or before? I would say that the best time to get to the surgery is when you reach a goal, like a weight or a body image that you are ready to live with for the rest of your days, right? The reason behind this is because if you, let's say, have another 30, 40 pounds to lose, you get to surgery, your skin will continue to sag, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. Compared to if you wait maybe a little bit longer, you lose an extra 20, 25 pounds out of the 30 that you have left, then that'll be perfectly fine and you'll be able to lose that without getting more loose skin accumulation. But you want to be close to where you're going to be happy to stay for a very long period of time afterwards. That's kind of the secret. There's no magic number as to when you should do it. It's whenever you're close to where you're going to be happy to live with. Recommendations. How do I jumpstart weight loss after breast cancer? Do all the plastic surgery. First of all, congratulations on beating breast cancer. That is fucking amazing. I'm so proud of you. Wow. Second of all, with cancer and cancer drugs, chemo, all these other things that they do, weight loss can be a lot more complicated than just a normal person because there's a lot happening metabolically different in your body. So the best way for you to do it would obviously be to enter the caloric deficit, but perhaps it would be definitely to make sure that everything is in check. How's your thyroid doing after some of those chemo drugs? Because it can really affect it. How is your gut doing, your gut health? Maybe you get a full blood panel, make sure that everything is in check, and then once you have a better idea, then you can do an elimination diet to eliminate a lot of variables, eat very strict for a bit, reintroduce foods slowly. That would be my process for you. And when you're ready, of course, then you can get all that plastic surgery done to remove all the loose skin, etc. But I just want to remind you that you just beat breast cancer, something that takes the lives of an incredible amount of women and men out there. Be kind to yourself. It's going to take time and it's okay, but you're a fucking superhero for beating that in the first place. Will the scars ever fully go away? No. Scars, unfortunately, they don't just leave your body. Look, I chopped my finger off a little bit, when I was young. And as you can see, I still have scarring there. And this was, probably about 15, 20 years ago. The scars are still there, but they're a lot less visible than they were before. Same as my chest. It's a lot less visible today than it was when I first got the surgery, and imagine in 2 years. So the scars will never completely fade, but they will be imperceivable from any sort of distance away unless you actually look for them, right? How much is a consultation? Can it be done virtually? Consultation with Dr. Law's team are actually free. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later as to why this is an important note to take. But yes, they can absolutely be done virtually. That's how they're done. You send pictures of the area that needs to be worked on, and then they'll do an assessment, and the first one is free. This is probably the most important question I'm going to answer today. What are the most important questions I should ask during my first consult? Thanks. To be honest, this is a very long subject, and I have a full video on this, which is called How to Choose Your Surgeon, coming out in the next few weeks. I'm going to build a checklist of questions that everybody should ask their surgeon because these are so important to make sure that you have the right fit with the right person, with the right surgeon, to make sure that their results are the ones you actually seek. But it's going to be things like, what sort of operating procedure are you using? What type of closures are you doing? Have you had any complications in the OR before? What does your average scar look like 2 years post-op? Do you use Exparel or any long-acting local anesthetic to reduce the pain post-surgery, right? So on top of the video I'm going to do, honestly, give me about, I'm going to say a few weeks, and I'll pump out a whole video to answer this question in a lot more detail. Normal abdominoplasty versus lipo HD with fat grafting and muscle. So lipo HD is when they do a very selective liposuction and they actually liquefy the fat around certain places to make the toned look of the muscle pop more. The issue with this is that I plan on staying lean after this, very lean for the foreseeable future. And if not done properly, it can be very obvious because then all of a sudden your abs are super in place or you have a few of them and such. And to be honest, the lipo HD stuff does not take away the loose skin, which that was my main issue, right? It was loose skin, not necessarily the fat. So lipo HD can be a tool used when people have a small amount of fat deposit that they're trying to control, versus the abdominoplasty, in my case, is when there is an excess of loose skin, and that's something that liposuction cannot take care of. And we'll do 3 more really quickly. Why didn't you do gyno surgery at the same time as your tummy tuck? Just curious. I have Crohn's disease. I had a bit of a Crohn's flare during my recovery of my chest surgery, and my GP drains, my Jackson Pratt drains here, were filling up very quickly. If that would happen while I was completely cut up all over, that would have been a very drastically different conversation where I would have been my life could be in danger due to the inflammation, accumulation of liquids, and other bad things. So it was just to be safe, in my opinion. But if somebody comes in and they don't have any pre-existing health conditions or anything of the sort, a doctor could do that. But again, you want to make sure that your doctor is able to stay doing his job perfectly for a longer period of time, because doing both of those surgeries together could take up to 7 or even 8 hours. And when was the last time you were able to stay 100% focused for that amount of time standing up? Remember, surgeons are humans too. Has he ever cut off too much? I actually asked him this question off camera yesterday after we stopped filming, and no, he has not. There's a variety of tricks and tools that surgeons will use to make sure that they're grabbing the right amount of skin before actually closing. It's like they have these large calipers that you get the skin together, make sure, and then you put your lines on there with your Sharpies or whatever to make sure that this is where you're gonna cut and it makes sense. But again, I asked him, and no, he has never cut off too much off somebody. And now to the big question everybody wants to know: how much was the surgery? All right, let's break this down, because it wasn't actually just a surgery, it was a bunch of other ancillary, God, my French is showing, ancillary costs. So to fly into Raleigh from Alberta, it was $500 in economy seating. And then my flight back was $850 because I bought it first class, knowing I did not want to travel with all of this in economy, and I'd be sweating, I'd be gross, I'd be touching people with my, no. So I opted to buy first class. And then 7 days worth of hotel came up to $1,400 because I was staying with my dad. He had a lot of work to do. We got one of those suites hotel where it's like the bedroom is separated from the actual rest of from like the living room, I guess, so to speak. It's a bit of a bigger hotel room, but it was $1,400 for 7 days. And then a massive shout out, by the way, look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2, meal prep. So if you guys remember Jeffrey from Summer Shredding, the guy who won before me, he has a meal prep company called 212 Meal Prep. And he actually sent me about $200 worth of meal prep, which was so clutch, by the way, because in the first days after my surgery, of course, moving around, well, I thought was going to be a lot worse than it was, but this saved me from having to cook. I just threw it in the microwave, heated it up, and ate it as is. This is not sponsored or anything. I asked him to pay for it, and he literally just sent me the order for free because he's a good dude. And then on top of that, I spent about $200 on ordering food, whether it be rice cakes, minute rice cups, a bunch of grocery style things, because in these sweet hotels, you have a bit of a kitchen to work with. And then I paid $3,400 CAD, by the way, Canadian, for the anesthesia fee, which is the fee to the drugs to put me out, the drugs to keep me out, and then eventually wake me up. And then there is another big fee in there that I'm leaving out, and there's a reason for it, because whatever I tell you, it won't matter. Everybody's loose skin situation will be incredibly different, and the cost will also be very different. So if we look at, in the USA, the average mini tummy tuck, which would be essentially just the cutting off of the loose skin here, can range anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. The full tummy tuck can be from $16,000, and then the full tummy tuck with the ab repair can be roughly between $6,000 to $15,000, and then the full 360 tummy tuck can go anywhere between $96,000 to $30,000. And obviously these prices can be a lot higher depending on the surgeon, or a lot lower depending on the location. And now the reason why I'm leaving it out is just because I had an incredibly reduced rate with Dr. Law, just because of how he found my story, and it was the same thing with the gynecomastia. So all in, I paid $6,150 for this surgery and getting to and from there. And if there's anything that I would have to say about the cost, is that I would do it all over again, because I have never seen surgical results online as good as what I've seen with Dr. Law. The guy is an artist, and it's so incredibly obvious. And it's so incredibly obvious that he's a perfectionist, and that's why the results are so good. So, with that being said, my friend is just about to get here. I can't wait for you guys to see who it is. All right, fast transition to when she's here.
What up, bitch?
First of all, who the fuck are you?
I'm Alicia. I almost said my last name. I'm Alicia. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Alicia XL or Alicia XL. And
I will never not be proud of how early I found you. Well, here's a screenshot to prove it. I found Alicia's content when she had 264 followers on Instagram, and the first thing I said to you was, keep going, never stop, you're gonna blow the fuck up.
Yeah,
and
blow the fuck up was definitely in there.
Yeah, now you're at like 400 together with all the platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 400,000. It's fucking wild. I'm not comprehending it, I don't think.
No, not yet. But I guess my biggest question for you is, because obviously losing weight is a bitch to begin with, and then losing weight with all of 400,000 people looking at you every day. Do you find, though, it gives you, like, it pressures you more into being perfect?
Not perfect, just better. It does add that pressure, which is not bad, because I thrive on accountability. Yeah. But there is added pressure, not just about being better too, mostly about, I'm scared I'm gonna fuck this up. Because did I tell you that whenever I first started this TikTok, I didn't tell anybody.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't tell my girlfriend, I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my friends. I kept it secret because I was like, if I fuck up, they'll never know. If they fuck up, they'll never know. And then that one TikTok that I posted started like going viral, and there was like hundreds after hundreds of comments and thousands of views, and I was like, oh fuck, I have to tell them. I have to tell my girlfriend now, because if she sees it before I say something, I'm gonna be in big trouble. I'm gonna be in big trouble. And she was so supportive though. But yeah, I told not a fucking person at all, because I was scared of disappointing them. So that translates now to doing it. Like, I'm scared that I'm gonna fuck up and disappoint people, or fuck up and disappoint myself. Mostly myself, but I also don't want to be a fucking embarrassment. Like, that's terrible. 400,000 people used to like me, and now they hate me.
So I guess, where did your style of content come from? Because like it's so simple by nature. It's so real. It always says, oh, all right, fuck.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the all right, fuck was just on accident. The style of the content comes from me just recording what I'm doing throughout the day. At first, I was just recording it so I could remember it. And I didn't know what to say at the time, and I was like, well, if I want to say anything, I'll just add it fucking later. And I remember doing the first voiceover, and I was like, people probably won't like my voice, so I put a little fake filter over it.
Oh my god.
The jokester filter on TikTok. And then I was like, okay, this is kind of funny, so I posted it. But that style was just on accident. And I remember laying in bed after a long day of work. I made dinner. I was so tired. And I was like thinking, I have to fucking do this.
And the first line was just...
I was like, all right, fuck, let's go. Because I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to go to bed.
Holy shit.
So I was really pissed off.
That's iconic.
Yeah, and then everybody just loved it. So, naturally, you want to give people what they like and what they love, and it's so easy. And fuck is my favorite word, so it just comes out naturally any fucking way. Clearly.
Amazing.
Sorry, am I gonna have to stop? Are you gonna bleep them?
I might get demonetized, but just for this video, that's fine. Honestly.
Don't do it. Don't demonetize it.
It's so cool to see. Like, okay, what was your highest weight that you started off at?
My highest weight ever was 409 pounds, but when I started this journey,
you're not tall.
Huh?
You're not tall either.
No.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
Yeah, 409 at 5'2" is crazy.
I know. It was awful to look at. It was fucking terrible. I have not told anybody this yet, because I just remembered it the other day. One of the things that kickstarted it was my mom came in to her, because I was living with my mom at the time, and she came into the living room and she goes, your papa told me that he will pay for weight loss surgery for you if you want it. And I was like, oh fuck, I better do something.
All right, time to fucking do it.
I was like, I don't want to do weight loss surgery, but clearly I'm not hiding my fat very well, so I better fucking get to stepping. So that was mortifying. So I started that in 2019 or 2018. COVID happened. I blew the fuck back up again, by 2025. And this time I started at 398.1, I think.
Crazy.
So like 11 pounds lower than what my highest was.
And now you're down to?
The last I checked, I think it was 366.1, but that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've lost more weight since that. I just haven't had my scale with me because I've been out of town.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you.
You're doing the thing, and now it's like you have 400,000 people that aren't going to not let you do the thing, and you have me screaming at you.
I know.
Did you fucking do your cardio?
He gives me the gentlest of spankings.
Oh, yes. Metaphorically, of course. So I don't get canceled.
The gentlest of verbal spankings.
Yes, thank you. That's much more appropriate.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
It's so nice working with you, too, because I think a lot of people, especially fat people are scared of fit people most of the time because they're scared that they're going to be judged. And I can say that to him because he also used to be fat, and he definitely understands. And even fit people probably understand that, too. But bottom line, fat people are scared of fit people because they're scared that they're going to be judged, and they're scared of things, whether it's rational or irrational. It just still happens because a fat person is living in the fat all the time. They're thinking about it, looking at it. Like I'm tugging on my clothes because I'm scared my belly's protruding too much.
Exactly.
It's just it happens all the time, and sometimes without thought. So having a coach is, first of all, scary, but it's so much more endearing when you have someone that understands your goals and understands what you can and cannot do, or what you're willing to do in the moment. Like, I definitely want to grow into your nutritional plan that you have for me to where I can do it perfectly.
Well, you don't have to, though, because right now you're progressing. It works. And, like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. Everybody's going to take a different approach. You are succeeding at doing what you're doing. And obviously, you're following your macros very well. It might not be exactly what I'm setting up for you, but we're finding progress. And until we plateau, until we slow down, until we need to address things, I ain't fixing what ain't broke.
Yeah. I don't want to fix what ain't broke either, but that's what I fucking like. Someone looking at me and like seeing that I'm eating a low-calorie burrito that I made in my fucking apartment and not shitting on me because it's not just a piece of lean chicken. Like, so that's wonderful. And to get that type of encouragement is so fucking nice. And it limits the fear and it limits the scariness. So
I'll still talk shit to you when you drink, but other than that, you're pretty much fine.
I talk shit to myself when I drink. When I drink, I'll call you and talk shit.
Exactly.
I fucking deserve it. But thank you so much for being so awesome and understanding and motivating in and out of nutrition and weight loss. He's also my life coach.
Social media coach almost at this point.
A bunch of coaches.
All the coaches.
He'd just be coaching.
I'm a package. Package coach.
Total package. Beefcake. Beefcake.
Well, hey, thank you. Thank you for coming. Good shit.
Thanks for having me, even though your juice boxes are juicing.
My little juice boxes are juicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to go take a nap, don't you?
I really do. I'm tired.
You're sleepy.
Yeah, I'm a sleepy little boy. Okay, cool. Well, hey, nice to meet you. Have a safe drive home.
Thank you.
And we'll chat soon. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
If you guys made it to the end, I highly suggest that you do go see Alicia's content. It's honestly top tier fat loss content. It's hilarious. It's engaging. It's just wholesome, and it's like she's my favorite content creator right now. So just by the way, go check it out. She's awesome. Give her a follow. But other than that, I am loving doing this daily content. It's hard. It's time consuming, but I am falling in love with it. Let me know if you guys think that I should keep going like this for the foreseeable future. But regardless, as always, let's change the world together, and I'll see you all tomorrow.